Hi guys, today from Dubai I have a very special guest with me today, Christoph Heuermann. He is a tax-free traveler, tax-free world traveler, boundless lifestyle, worldwide lifestyle without paying taxes. Christoph, how did you come up with the idea? When did you start this lifestyle? How did you live before that?
Yeah, it's actually quite funny. I embarked to this lifestyle 7 years ago. I was studying in university public management, science of the state. I was actually on the best way to become a bureaucrat, but basically I read the wrong books while studying, and that made me a libertarian. And then, of course, I didn't want to work for government, but against government. Mm-hmm. So that basically is how I got the idea to help people to live more free, to pay less taxes, to diversify themselves around the world with all the opportunities we have here.
Okay, so what were the books you were reading? Was it like How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World?
There was one of the books which inspired me, but there's lots of other books as well. Like in the beginning, it was more academic books, like Friedrich August von Hayek.
Okay, so Austrian economy, right?
Austrian economy, you know.
And so you say it was one of the two books. So the other book was which one?
But it's a funny story. I mean, I had a seminar in my first uni semester, and the first session I just missed because of a uni party the night before. And in the session, they gave away the topics for the presentations, and I missed the session, so I just got the one who was left, and it was Hayek. So it was pure coincidence that I got this guy, and then I read that 4 months to work on that presentation, and I got more deeply into the ideas and read some other books and was quite inspired, because this kind of thoughts you will never learn in German schools or universities normally.
Right. So which of the Hayek's books it was?
It was the Way to Serfdom.
The Way to
Which is more the popularized book. And then immediately after, in my first semester holidays, I read Ayn Rand and the Hans-Hermann Hoppe and many hardcore libertarians.
So Atlas Shrugged.
Atlas Shrugged, for example.
So it's probably the only novel that is worth reading, I guess, in the world.
It's quite inspiring. It's still one of my favorite books. It's not very good literature, but it's the idea is very powerful, very inspiring, and that motivated me a lot. Yeah.
Okay, Chris, you don't know that, but I have in my community I have a lot of dollar billionaires, and I know several billionaires who got inspired by the same book, like Ayn Rand and Hayek. So and then what happened then? So you were about to become a government official in Germany, but then you switched your
so basically during all this study, I committed to study to the end, but mainly not to really study, just to enjoy my studies and prepare myself for business. Yeah, because obviously there I didn't learn how to start a business, how to do marketing. So I read a lot of books. I think the last 2 years of university I read 150 books each year. A lot of self-help books, marketing, business, psychology, and so on. And then I felt ready to basically just start my business after graduating. I bought a ticket to Mexico. I was traveling 3 months through Mexico, and in that time I launched my first blog, which is still available, this startenlos.ch blog. And then later, I built it up, over some time. In the beginning, I did consulting. I still remember I did written analyses. Took me 4 hours. I charged 20 euros. And now I basically charge 100 times the price for oral consulting. But yeah, that's basically how it started. And the first 2 years I was just living in hostels, sharing dorms with 10 other people and working a lot to build up my business. But yeah, it worked, and after some point, after a year or so, then it really ran, and I could scale it. Yeah.
Okay, but it's quite, I would say misleading your brand names, stateless or stateless. Stateless means stateless, right?
Yeah,
you are not really stateless, right?
Yes, but the name is very consciously chosen, because basically stateless is obviously a very negative term, basically rightless. Yeah. I mean, there are stateless people also in Germany and other countries, and they don't really have rights. Well, they have rights, but they cannot really leave the country because they don't have a passport.
But you can become stateless by
stateless,
choice, right?
Yeah, right. Stateless by choice, so it's more like the mental statelessness, that you basically choose to use the best opportunities all around the world and not only set everything in one country.
Okay, so there is this idea of this Trinity. What is it about? Could you explain it to the viewers? What is a Trinity in this concept of international lifestyle or international business making?
Well, we have the flag theory, yeah. So the flag theory basically means you diversify your life in different aspects. Where's your residency? Where's your citizenship? Where's your bank account? Where's your company? Your insurance? Whatever. And many people have everything in one country, but obviously every people can have some flags in another country. Everyone is free to open a bank account outside of his home country. It's also free to open a company, but then obviously it depends on the legislation of your current country of residence.
Okay, why is it? What are the benefits of having it in different countries? I mean, why would you do that? It's just more hassle.
It depends. Yeah, it can be more hassle, but I don't know, if you live in certain countries, it's maybe not stable, the banks. There might be economic crisis and you lose all your assets. So many people who fear this, and I think it's a justified fear in the next couple of years, they just try to relocate their assets, either to a bank account abroad or maybe to precious metal storage or to a stockbroker, because there the money is more safe or it's protected, or the financial authorities cannot seize it, or it's completely anonymous. I mean, that's all valid reasons to shift it there.
Okay. What about you? You have several residencies. Why do you need several residencies? How does it support you in what you do in your lifestyle?
Well, I don't really need it. Because I'm in the field, I just want to do it. First to collect it, the other people collect stamps, I collect residencies. Okay. But also, of course, to learn how to do it. Yeah? Especially in countries which are very easy, very popular for my clients. I want to have done it myself, so I can exactly tell them what are the steps, what do you need to do. You shouldn't do that, you should do that. And that makes it very, very interesting. Yeah? And of course it has some advantages. Yeah? I have 4 different driver's licenses. So in Germany on the Autobahn, it's quite practical. Yeah?
Okay. On the other hand, I mean, the most obvious, I think, the most obvious advantages could be seen during the pandemics, right? You are the guy who just bought a boat, and you were sailing through the freest countries in the world during the pandemic, where all the others were in lockdown.
Yeah,
so how did you do that?
The boat, I mean, I was traveling. I was first in Mexico, escaping from Mexico, then to Sweden, and then to Croatia. In Croatia, I bought the boat. And I could have also gone to all my residency countries, Paraguay, Panama. The problem was they also had a lockdown, so of course I didn't go there. But theoretically, having a residency, of course, always enables you to leave the country. Yeah, the borders are shut, but citizens and residents can come in.
Exactly. So, at the beginning of the pandemics, and I think all through pandemics, it was, there were travel restrictions, but you always were able to somehow return to your country or to the country where your residency is. And if you have several residencies, you have just much more options, right?
Sure.
And you have more or less restrictions in every country, so you can choose the country where you...
Yeah, that's always the thing. I mean, additional residences or citizenships are never bad, because when they get bad, you can resign from them. Right. So it's always an additional option, which can be of advantage. But that's not the real disadvantage. Just you have, of course, to do it once. There's some bureaucracy, some cost, but then you have it in many cases forever. I have like Panama and Paraguay residency forever. I just need to visit like the country every 2 years and that's it.
Yeah, and this is the difference between, because there is also this movement of like having several passports and so on, multiple passports, and I think passports can have advantages, but they also have drawbacks. Residencies actually never have drawbacks, right? Never.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's the residence, just a residency permit. It's not like a tax residence. Tax residence is where you spend most of your time. But just having like a permit basically doesn't really
gives you the option to live there, right? And so why maybe you can also expand on the topic of passports, because you know, some people collect passports to get to have more access to different countries without like visa-free travel and so on.
I mean, it's always depending on your country of current citizenship. I mean, many people, Chinese, Russian, Arabs, of course they will try to get a European passport, because then they can live in Europe without issues and travel more in the world. But if you already have a German or generally a European passport, you have a lot of travel freedom, and then it's not so big reason. And then depends on your country. Like in Germany, for example, it's not so easy to have a second citizenship. You might need to give up the German one. So I will probably do it in future, but it's not like the immediate flag. If you're American and you're taxed regardless where you live because you're American, for them, of course, it's quite the key in the flag free to first get a good citizenship where they're not taxed.
Right, and then they have to renounce and apply actually to get rid of the of the citizenship. So, okay, so maybe what about, because I am. You know, I have watched your materials, I have read your materials, and there is always this thread, like going through all the topics is freedom. It's like your mission is somehow to to help people to get more freedom in their lives. Can you expand on that? I mean, how can you, or how do you support
people? Many people only think
people
about tax, but obviously it's not only about tax, it's many other aspects in life. And it's often also about bureaucracy, less bureaucracy, no bureaucracy at all. For example, no accounting. Yeah, many people actually want to pay taxes, just a little bit less, but don't want to have accounting. Yeah.
Right.
And then I have to tell them, yeah, sorry guys, if you don't want accounting, then you
need to
can't
not
pay taxes either.
Yeah.
But also, of course, it is other topics. I have a lot of young families in my consultings who just don't want to send their kids to school in Germany. Yeah, it's like homeschooling is prohibited. They just want a country where they can do homeschooling. Or many other aspects. Yeah, you feel restricted because that's what you're doing. It's not very popular, like entrepreneurship in Germany. Yeah, it's not popular. So of course you move to a country with like a better business mentality, like here in Dubai. Yeah?
Right, where you are actually, you know, in Europe you feel somehow you will be punished for being an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, I mean you pay taxes, and paying taxes doesn't give you good things. It just gives you more regulations, more prohibitions.
Because you pay actually your supervisors, right? So you pay them for them supervising you, or they somehow limiting you in what you do. Christoph, part of your business is about helping people get a more free lifestyle, get more freedom in their life. Maybe also help them, to become at least partly tax-free in their business adventures or business endeavors. So, how do you do that? How people can find you? Where they can find you, and how can you help them actually to do that?
Yeah, I have a lot of platforms in different languages. The English one is called taxfree.today, but we also have everything in Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, French, and obviously German. German is still like the main thing I focus on, and not only blogs. I mean, many people need like 3 months to read everything, but also different video courses, ebooks, like the best residencies, best bank accounts, best citizenships, lots of YouTube videos, And then of course it's always possible to make a call with me and have direct access to my brain, so to speak, and
to
find
pick
the
his brain like I did.
best solution.
Genius guy.
For everything, everything related to global business and lifestyle basically. I can find a solution for almost any question.
So the right configuration for everybody, because everybody has a slightly different setup depending on your nationality, your country where you live right now.
Your business, and I mean that's my main advantage over tax advisors as well. Tax advisors often don't understand anything about business. They understand about tax, but I mean it's also important where you get or if you're able to get a bank account, what payment providers you can use. What about other regulations? I don't know, with internet, domain, servers. That's all important as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not only about paying taxes in your country. It's
that's the second
entire
thing.
setup.
Yeah, that's the second thing. Tax advisors know 100% maybe in one country, but that's not enough in our today globalized world. You need to know about minimum 2 or probably even more countries. That's what I do. I know about every country in the world, not 100%, but I work with local lawyers and tax advisors who know the rest and can implement all the stuff.
Right. So you are the, so to say, the generalist who has the main overview. You know the.
I have the network. I know the main things.
And the procedures.
But I don't know the little details, and I actually don't want to know the little details.
Okay. And you have a lot of experience. I mean, you have had like hundreds, probably, or maybe thousands of people.
Already 2,000, more than 2,000 consulting.
Okay, wonderful. So I wish you success in your business adventures, and of course, like a long life in freedom with that lifestyle that you have. By the way, last question: how many countries did you visit this year, last year? Like where most people just sit in.
I have the goal to visit every country in the world. Actually, until I was 30, that's already done. I'm 30 now. Because of Corona, I had to travel a bit less last year. I still traveled. I think last year it was 15 countries. This year it will be 22 countries. I plan until I'm 33, so the next 2 years, to complete all the world.
Okay, and that in a time where most people just stay in the country because either they are afraid of traveling or maybe they are just afraid of the restrictions during the traveling of all the procedures, or they may be even completely blocked from traveling, like Australians or New Zealand or some other countries. Which are completely isolated right now, right? So before that happens to you, that you get completely isolated, you should take care of that stuff. And maybe
like if you get, Australians, New Zealanders can leave their countries, but they cannot go back. And of course, it's good to have some kind of residency. Then you have a reason to go out.
Right. Okay. That's it for Dubai today. If you like this video, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down. Share this with your friends, with your loved ones. One day they will thank you for that. I talk here about freedom, about doing great, impossible things in your life and business, about the best entrepreneurs in the world as well, about the billionaires of our times, how they think and act. I talk about money, about economy. So if you like that video, you will certainly like my other videos. That's it for today. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today. Thank you.